Hello to my people of the world. Welcome back to My Kind of Love, the podcast that is about all things love and healthy relationships. I'm Olivia Baylor, licensed clinical therapist, relationship coach, and author. Today, we're taking a 5-minute in depth look at relationships by discussing safety. Plus, you will be given homework to work on your relationship goals at the end of this podcast. So let's get started. I want to check in with everybody and how they felt about last week and taking a look at communication and writing down what their expectations are with communication. I'll be interested to see what everybody has come up with because it'll be interesting to see what are the steps that you have, done so far. Now we are at the last part of the dating kind of category system that I have set up where you're going to officially at the end of this podcast be able to upload your profile and start the dating process. Now, don't think I'm going to leave you hanging there because I'm not. There's going to be a lot more stuff that we're going to talk about as we adjust into the How to Date book, which is going to be the next steps that we're going to be working on every single thing when it comes to the How to Date book, which is over 200 pages that's still being written, but you can at least sign up for it on the website at www.oliviabaylor.com and be able to be first in line when that book is out. If you haven't already, I do have other books on there that you can also take a look at, which is the Before I Do book, which is for premarital counseling, which we'll also do a segment on with this podcast where we would dig a little bit deeper into each one of those chapters. So today is about safety. My hope is that you've worked through all of these things and written down all of these notes and you're ready to go out there and put your profile out there. But we have to talk about safety. Number one thing that you have to be worried about on websites is called catfishing. So catfishing is when you kind of pull a person into a relationship by making a fake online identity. You want to be careful about this because this is very common. It does happen a lot still to this day, unfortunately, because what people do is they create multiple different sites. They add somebody else's photo onto it. They'll copy everything. And then they'll say, I'm open to dating. Some people will use like photos. Some people will even set up dates. You see this a lot happen with international people who date international sometimes, because they will actually have it where a person will travel to a whole nother country with the thought that this person is going to date them, and then they disappear or they say something has happened, and then that person's not anywhere to be found. They've spent money, so you have to just be careful of this. Um, Catfish is the most common thing that has happened. You want to avoid dating avoid falling for any scams. So anything that is in relation to money, asking you for money, telling you about hard times, and they need you to help them out by either writing them a check or giving them your bank account. Those types of things when you're dating, especially if you're on like a website and you haven't met this person face to face, is a big, big red flag. Even if you met this person face to face, and if you're not official and you don't feel like you trust this person and they're asking you for money, you want to be very, very careful. If it gets to the point where you're online relationship, or if you're doing the relationship with the dating agency or your friend, you still want to make sure, or a friend has connected you with somebody, you still want to make sure you meet the person in public, in a very crowded public place. You don't want to go to anywhere very private. Public is going to be better. For some of my clients, I even tell them maybe not even to drive their own vehicle and to get an Uber or something to help them get back home. The reason for this is because sometimes people will, take a look at your license plate. They'll know what type of car you have, and if you don't feel safe leaving that date, you don't want to walk back to a dark parking lot to get into your car and you just got very creepy vibes from that person that you were on a date with. It would be a lot better if you're sitting there and you say, excuse me, we'll go to the bathroom, or if you're sitting there, you just check your phone really quickly and you type in Uber to come and pick you up. They let you know that they're outside. You get your jacket on and you run out the door. And you can jump into that Uber vehicle and that person can take you home safely, or you can ask them to take you to the local police department. In any case, you want to just make sure that it's somewhere public. So if you're going to go on your first date, maybe go to a nice restaurant. Midday probably is the best time, so you're not going too late at night, so it gets too dark. But you're also not going too early in the morning because it's going to be very crowded. You're not going to be able to hear one another. Um, Movie theaters, I never really suggest for any of my clients is for first dates because you can't talk in a movie theater. So how are you going to get to know the person? Dinner typically is a good one, or if you're going to like an art show, some type of a, paint and sip, something that's very public and there's other people that are there with you. Just make sure that you are, of course, safe and also that everything that you're doing, engaging together, is a safe environment and interaction. So these are things that you always want to look for when you're making sure that you're taking those first steps. Now, the homework that I'm going to give you today is for you simply to go online and set up your full ad on the websites that you have chosen. You want to pick either your top one or two. You don't want to go over more than two because then you're going to have a lot of websites that you're going to be going back and forth to looking for people. So you want to pick your top one website or your top one agency or your top friend. And for the website, get started with it with your friend. Let them know it's time for you to jump in. So I want to thank everyone who joined me on My Kind of Love podcast. Today we discussed safety, and you were provided with homework to work on getting yourself out there and starting on a dating website. I look forward to meeting you again to continue on the journey. Don't forget to subscribe to my podcast, read my blogs, and like and subscribe to my YouTube channel. You can find more information and goodies on my website at www.oliviabaylor.com. That's www.oliviabaylor.com. Take care and stay safe.